About to what?
You about to piss me off.
What I do? We just started.
Start the show, bro.
We are starting.
Starting. Okay.
All right.
Well,
Say that.
We're quite literally recording.
I'm so okay.
Your boy is tweaking.
I'm tweaking.
Yes, and you might as well keep all this in here at this point.
I'm tweaking.
Yes.
What's going on, y'all, man? We back for another episode of the 4. We appreciate y'all checking in. See, I didn't even do your intro because you talking about I'm tweaking. I ain't even start the tweaking.
Okay, start your. Come on, go ahead. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm ready.
Are you?
What's going on?
You
Ask Son Washington.
How was he tweaking?
You didn't just see him Birdman rub for 5 minutes?
Because he was going to do the clap to signal the start.
A clap.
And then be the year and to sync the audio.
I catch your drift, Malik. He was rubbing the ash off his hands.
Thank you.
Ash is insane.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
Anywho.
No, I don't even want to do it. That's
all right.
What's going on, y'all? Like we said, I still need to do my year. So, yeah.
What it do?
We are back. Is the 4 brothers, the 4 kings, the 4 black men. We are here, and we are glad to bring y'all another episode of the 4. We will go ahead and start with our introductions. If you don't know, you about to know now. Start with my man here.
It's your boy Adam, SS Jurdo. Yeah.
And it's your boy TJ. Gotta go by TJ with the shots.
It is your boy Malik. If we just gonna stick with the triple OG in the cut like Neosporin, you feel me? You find me at ASAP_Brown_Braun.
AKA Bond Hill's greatest. Come on now.
You can't avoid it.
Come on, bro.
I am a normal being.
The Roseline assassin, if you would.
Roseline.
Nobody has ever said that, and I will not expose you in your neighborhood name because this is a good
Last but not least, it's me, Jacob, AKA your friendly neighborhood Snorlax.
Yeah.
We turned up. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to y'all.
Merry Christmas.
It is
Today's
December
Christmas.
25th.
Today is Christmas at the time of recording, so yeah. Happy holidays. Hope y'all had a great time with family, love friends, and loved ones, and hope y'all got some dope stuff.
Yeah, that's why I got these pajamas on. Don't judge me.
We're judging just because you said don't judge me.
On God, you shouldn't have told me not to judge.
Bro, here's the thing. Everybody got on regular sweatpants, and I definitely look festive as hell.
Brother, I'm wearing jeans.
I'm telling, bro.
Oh, my bad. You're right. It is for the holiday, but yes.
I just like changing.
Did you get coal for Christmas? Or were you on the nice list?
Now, why would you assume that
I
would be?
I asked the question.
No, I didn't get coal. I actually got a lot of good stuff. Shout out to my family. They did a bang up job.
Shout out to Washington.
Hell yeah.
But we are going to give y'all a good conversation today.
Yes.
And we have a couple things we would like to discuss with y'all. So take it away, Penny.
Indoors.
Okay,
This is
but no. To get into the topic of today's conversation, we're going to be focusing on right now. In the past, I think it's been 2 weeks since 21 Savage dropped his album. Where the Streets From?
Yeah.
2 weeks in.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's been 2 weeks in.
What happened to the streets?
What happened to the streets? Thank you.
What happened to the streets?
The streets are
need answers.
The streets are in shambles right now.
They
But
are.
in the 2 weeks of the album being out, musically it was kind of middle of the road. But what really has garnered the attention is 21 Savage and his hashtag Fuck the Streets. I don't know if it's a hashtag, but I know you can search it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Trying to do his part to put an end to street violence across the United States of America. And from my position, I would like to give him his flowers in this regard because he is not the first person to do so. He is not. Many have tried before, but I like to give him his flowers in the sense of I like to see that there are still artists out here that are still of the mentality that they realize that the streets are a huge problem, especially for people within the African American community.
Yeah.
And if he can use his power and his resources to even make a small dent into that, then just shout out to him, salute to him. And there's been a bunch of artists that joined his movement and hashtag Fuck the Streets and things of that nature. So I haven't seen too much of the other tweets except for the one from Boosie Badass.
Oh, you didn't see the Blueface one?
I did not see the Blueface one. What happened with the Blueface one?
Blueface said, man, nigga, I love the streets, man. You know, I ain't never gonna leave the streets. Streets is what got me here. And I was like, this is why you have issues in your real life. But also, to his point, being in that street life definitely is something that gave him something to talk about. But I think to 21 Savage's point, at some point you got to grow up, you got to figure out, you got to realize the influence and the power that you have with your platform. So I don't know. It's interesting to look at the two different parallels, right? Because like I get 21 Savage's point to a T, but also I understand where Blueface is coming from. I don't agree with it, but I can understand why he said what he said.
And that's understandable. And before my co-host jump in, the last thing I do want to point into that is, if we do remember, 21 Savage did garner a lot of his attention in early part of his career, rapping about the streets.
Sit back and read it.
So
21 Savage, the cat with the Mac. 21 Savage, now boys in the hood, but I pull up on you, shoot your ass in the back. Come on,
well,
man.
that's that street shit. So
Hey, the next line, Stuart Little, you niggas some
Rats. Come on, pocket full of cheese, bitch. I got rats.
come on now.
And then he literally said, "I'm a real street nigga, bitch. I am not one of these niggas banging on wax." Come on now.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, how the tables have turned.
How the tables have turned.
So, like, I think the issue with it, because a lot of people, like the street artists, are taking offense to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I think the message was misconstrued, because maybe he shouldn't say fuck the streets. I seen who is it? Jason Martin, Problem. That
Yes.
should be a rap name.
Yes.
He made a post saying that instead of saying fuck the streets, they should change it to fix the streets. And I agree with that sentiment, because I do truly believe 21 Savage isn't necessarily saying fuck the streets as in like fuck what I've been through and everything, but I think it's like there's nothing in it now. So yes, fuck the streets, because that's not the way to go anymore. So I think there should be more education, or they should find ways to front that message out more as opposed to just a hashtag.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get a full grasp of what the goal of this is. Like, I understand it's, 21 Savage and Streets is dead, and we not doing that no more. I'm in the middle of the is it Big Bank? That's his name?
Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of his interview. I'm like an hour and a half in, and I know he talks a little bit about like, oh, the streets is dead. Then we ain't moving the same way no more. But then it's like, I'm still from that life. And it's been really interesting to see people's response to this movement, whether it's rappers or like civilians, just regular people. And I've seen like some people support it, some feel like I've seen some ignorant takes about like, oh man, I love the street, that's where I came from, that's all I know. And then you got some people that's just like, yeah, no, the street shit is lame, like I don't even know why y'all, but a lot of people has been really just getting on 21 and other artists that are for the streets, the contradictions in it, because it's like you guys are championing, oh, we cool on the streets, F the streets, woo, 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 but here y'all are rapping, y'all music careers is built off of discussing your experience, quote unquote, about the streets. So it's like, it's almost like a gray area, and it's like, feels like it blurs the line a little bit. Because think about it, how would you feel 21 does this whole movement, and he's still an artist, he still got to put out music. So what you gonna do on your next album? Are you still gonna rap about I'm 21 Savage, I stay with the heat, I shoot your block up, shoot your grandma, shoot your mama house?
Now,
Are we still gonna talk about these type of things?
On this new album, while he was still talking about his typical 21 Savage stuff, you could tell his approach was slightly different. Like a lot of I think the way the street dudes are gonna handle this fuck the streets movement, if they're in support of it, they're gonna probably change their lyrics to like response based thing. So like, if you come fuck with me, I'll shoot you in your fucking face, as opposed to just coming out with the gang stuff. But you never know.
It also doesn't necessarily make it better though.
It definitely doesn't make it better.
I will say though, duality is the thing. One thing people have to continue to remember is people get older, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't expect the 22-year-old 21 Savage to be saying the same things as 33-year-old 21 Savage, right? Like, that's just not what reality is. And could you imagine if he was this old? It's just like OGs that hang out on your block that you see doing the same stuff, doing all that stuff. Like, bro, you really never grew up. That's so lame. Like,
no, that is lame.
And I think that's kind of not necessarily what he's trying to say, because again, I'm not 21 Savage. I'm not from England or nothing, but
or Atlanta.
Yes, he's trying to convey the message of like, yo, this shit ain't it no more. I'm almost 35.
And
Yeah.
ironically, I've been watching Bel Air recently, and like it actually plays a lot of parallel to that in the fact of like a lot of the people that are in the streets because they never got the opportunity.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I definitely understand like people finding a way and navigating through the streets to get to a goal. I think the issue with the streets nowadays is that there's no end goal because this kids out here killing each other just because.
Mind you, y'all, if y'all don't know, I have a very nice car, right?
Oh.
And I've had my car broken into more times this year than I've had ever just owning it. Every time it's been broken into, it has been by a juvenile. For what? Literally no reason. Like, I don't got no ops. I don't have. They just see a nice car just breaking into it for no reason. Mind you, these are kids that probably live in the suburbs. So it's like, what are we doing here?
I don't know if they live in the suburbs.
But
They
I
just
see-
outside.
Honestly,
Yes.
a lot of the suburbs
Like,
be trying.
that
Yeah.
can be so. I think you all have great points, but I think there's a couple things. I think one, I think in the terms of people looking at 21 Savage, this is more so looking at it, and the phrase that comes to mind is that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yes.
Mm.
Because because for 21, and again, like I don't know him personally, so I can't say what he's done in his lifetime, but for his peers that grew up in Atlanta, England, wherever they may hail, they probably have seen 21 do some shit that he only would have done because of the circumstances that he finds himself in and the environment that he finds himself in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Where you may not necessarily do that if you have a different opportunity to be somewhere else or to be in a better position, put yourself in a better position.
Right.
And then at the same time, I do also agree with you about maybe not using the term "fuck the streets," but maybe using something similar like "fix the streets" or something that has a more positive tone to it. Because "fuck the streets" as a whole does have a very harsh negative connotation on it,
Yeah.
and for people that are in the middle of are in that street life, that are in those environments and those circumstances, for them it's just like, how are you going to say fuck that when right now this is my entire way of living?
Yeah.
You can't. I make money off of this to take care of others or to take care of myself. So who are you to go and say fuck that when you were previously a part of this?
Yeah.
So I think that's another part of why there's a lot of a backlash and just like different tweets going out, just like, oh, 21, who are you to say this? Da, 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 who are you to be this type of person?
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's very hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's true lifestyle.
It's a true lifestyle.
Like, it's a lifestyle. People live this type of life as opposed to them just selling drugs and doing this. No, that's their everyday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
My other thing is though, right? And because you brought up a very valid point about this being people's lifestyle, the only people who I've seen genuinely saying like, I can't believe you said fuck the streets are people that have already made it out. Like a Blueface, like a Boosie Badass,
Come on now.
like I don't even know who else said that shit, but there's people who already got money.
Yeah.
Like you have seen the options now. You don't have to do this no more, bro.
Yeah.
Prime example: Jabil Peppers just went to jail for selling drugs. Sir, you are an NFL veteran. Why are you selling dope? Fetty Wap. We get it. Okay, it's not Trap Queen no more, but you still could make money. Why are you getting caught with $100,000 worth of heroin? Wait.
It's crazy, but even to add to that, as you said, I thought of this too. Like if 21 Savage wasn't the 21 Savage we know today, but let's say he still has this growth mindset,
yeah,
would he still go out his way to still say F the streets?
He might.
honestly, yeah, because I think he's the perfect person to be able to say fuck the streets because he has so much respect and he's garnered so much respect in the streets. So him saying that means something to the streets, at least. Because it's got that much attention. Like, just from him saying that, his album sales went up, 60,000 from the original projections?
Yeah, but again, I'm saying if he was never a rapper, or if he was just 21 in the hood,
Yeah.
and he has the mindset of,
Oh, if he just now came out as a rapper?
well, no.
Oh.
Take the rapper, take the music away, take the rapper
Nigga
stuff.
with guns.
He just another dude in the street still, just doing him.
I still
And
think
I'm saying over time, like you've been in the streets for X amount of time.
Mhm.
He didn't make it big, but he's making it work. He, do what he got to do. But it gets to a point where do you see him potentially having the same mindset of F the streets if you take away the music and the lifestyle way? Because again, now that he's in the music business and he's successful, well, you're not as in tune. Like, you might be tapped in, but you're not really in the streets like you used to.
I see what you're saying.
That's the point I'm making.
To
Like,
that
you think he would still say F the streets as a regular civilian in the streets today?
To that question, I would say no.
Okay.
And I would say no simply because for 21 at this point now, for him to even say fuck the streets or to do this, he has developed a career and he's developed things where for him it might be something that he's not willing to lose on.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think, because again, for a lot of people in the street, sometimes they might just be with this shit for senseless violence. Obviously, yeah, just because like it gets a way for them to make money, or it's like a way of them to survive in their environment. But there are some people that are just in this shit for the love of the game, and it's just like when you ask those people like, why would they do this type of stuff? It's because they truly just don't have anything that they feel like is something of value enough that if they lost it, it would change their whole perspective. And that's why I say no to that, because we don't know, because from 21, from when he first started his career to his point now, he might have a slew of things that he's personally not willing to put that on the line to lose that, whether it's money, relationships, any other type of material asset. There might be just a change of actual convictions and morals, and he's just realizing like I put myself in a position that not many people are gonna get the opportunity in their lifetime. So I am blessed to be able to do that. So let me now focus myself and do things that I can move in a direction where the risk of me losing all of this becomes a minimum. Whereas somebody in the streets, or take 21 Savage and put him in the street and he's just in the street, he might not gain those same assets that he's not willing to lose out on. That's just my opinion, though.
Now, I will say I oppose that only because I feel like the type of nigga from the interviews, again, I don't know this man personally, but from the things I've heard him say and the way he talks about the streets, it sounds like he's smart. So I feel like there would have been something in his life, like he mentioned when his best friend Johnny got killed. That changed a lot of things for him to take, like, for example, music seriously. That was the thing that made him take music seriously, because he's like, damn, my brother just lost his life. I could have lost my life. Let me make something more of my life. So say the music shit didn't work out, I feel like he would have found a way into something that would have gotten him successful. But that's just my opinion of seeing him and how I think he would handle that situation. Because again, I think he's a smart nigga.
Right.
Like, you know, it's niggas in the industry that you look at and you're like, they probably don't make the best decisions. I think he's one of those people who actually thinks and reflects on life to make better decisions. So that's the only thing I would oppose to that. I think he would still in some way make a better decision than to just keep sitting in the trap and doing dumb things that can get you caught up in.
But would he say F the streets in the end of all of that? Do you think he would still say F the streets in that situation?
So it's hard to say, only because we don't know what he would have been. If he's just still a street dude, at that point he would be like a top street dude.
Yeah, he'd be a smart top street dude.
I also think like it's hard. One, it's definitely hard to say that, but I also think him saying F the streets can come in many different forms and fashions, right? So you don't necessarily have to say that. You can literally just get up and move and do something different. Yeah. And that's your version of saying F the streets. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that's proclaiming it or putting it out there, but like, bro, I just got up and left. Like, you feel me? I don't have to do this no more. Y'all don't have to do this no more. You feel me? Like, I made it out. Y'all can make it out, but
making thousands of dollars in the trap and you still in the trap.
Yeah, and I think all of this does come down to that. It just becomes circumstantial because everyone's life moves in different directions.
That's very
even
true.
To like kind of circle back with like your point of like Jabril Peppers or who's that? Fetty Wap. Yeah, they may have made millions in their career, but the real question comes down to, especially when you like leave especially like for an athlete, once you leave the league, hey, while you were in the league, were you smart with your money? Were you properly saving it? Were you making sure like, you can go get the chains and get the cars and things, but like, were you being smart with your money? Were you investing it? Were you managing it? For Jabril Peppers, it doesn't sound like that's the case. Same thing with Fetty Wap. Hey, while you were in the music game and while you were in the industry, were you making smart purchases with your money? Were you actually making proper investments, or were you just spending money on the available material assets like chains, cars, and things because you had the ability to do so? Because that's the thing. A lot of people
very
can
true.
get into like those spaces that many people will never ever reach, whether it's the NFL, NBA, music industry. People can sometimes get to those places, but still not have the understanding or the wherewithal to be like, hey, while I'm in this, because this may not last forever, hell, they don't even think, oh, this is not going to last forever.
Yeah, it takes a lot to have that mindset coming into something like
It
this.
does.
I think a lot of these people who are coming up are trench babies.
Yeah.
It's just it's really up to them to grow and get older, because if you think about it, a lot of this shit gets old.
It does.
It gets real played out.
It does.
Now.
Of course.
It's very tiring. It's very tiring.
It gets super tiring. And, you know, I don't know if y'all been seeing the online rise of fatigue in trap music, black fatigue, consumerism fatigue.
Man.
I mean, like, it's really interesting in hearing all the conversations, especially, like, since we're on the topic of trying 21 Savage, like, the trap fatigue. Like, again, the reports is, hip-hop hasn't been on the top Billboard, like, a hip-hop song hasn't been on the top charts in a while, or like in the last year. And now, like, I'm seeing more people voice like, oh, we cool on the street music, or you guys ain't really bringing no substance, and it's all just shoot, kill, I F you bitch, type music. And I find it really interesting that it's gotten to this point. What reasons do y'all think it took for people that feel that way to get to that point? I got a couple of thoughts.
The internet. Everybody figured out, oh, I don't have to necessarily be good at music. I can put all this shit out anyway.
Yeah.
So now, instead of like, okay, prime example, we was kids, people really had to go through the grind to blow up, have a record label, have a team behind them, get all that stuff pushed out. Now, I got a SoundCloud link, I got social media, I got TikTok, and I could be talking about cars, clothes, jewelry, all that stuff. But now it's 1,000. It's a kid in Wyoming talking about car, clothes, jewelry, and all that stuff. Now, every time I get on the internet, it's car, clothes, jewelry. When you get too much of one thing, you get tired of it. It's hence fatigue.
I think to add to that, it's also like you said, like the kid from Wyoming, like it's easier now for people to become rappers or whatever artists, music, but there's like oversaturation from everyone doing the same thing. It's like not just that one kid from Wyoming. It's like, oh, well, this person may like this artist, so I'm gonna try to sound like them and do this, and then this other person does the same thing that they're doing, and it creates this like trickle down effect or a snowball effect of, oh, I'm just going to copy paste. It's like, here's my homework, but don't just change some of the answers. And you're like, no, I'm going to just do what works. And I definitely think oversaturation, and because I think streaming is another one, in my opinion. Like, along with the internet, I think streaming is a huge factor because, like, I mean, if you think about it, we're getting a new album every week.
Yep.
I know I'm not saying like physical is king still. I still think it is. But, back then, like, album rollouts were grand. People made sure to move around releases. Like if somebody was dropping some and they okay, I'll take this week or this and that. Now it's like, oh yeah, you'll get 5 top artists dropping the same week. Whoever makes the noise. And now it's getting to a point where people are like feeling like, oh, I didn't even know the album came out, or oh dang, like that's already done came and passed, and it just only been a month. It ain't even been that long. Or like you still even go back and listen to the project.
See, and it's bad because even the labels have started this thing to where they're not putting promotion into the music until afterwards to see what it does on its own.
I don't like that.
I don't either, but you can see that with a lot of people's albums. Like, for example, Wale's album, it didn't really start getting a label push until they seen it was doing well.
Yeah.
I think... So to answer your initial question of what's the reason for the musical fatigue in the industry, there's 2 answers to this in my opinion.
Okay.
One, the fans.
Okay.
The fans, because at this point, music at one point used to be where artists are putting out music to see how the fans react and how the fans what they like to hear and what they don't like to hear. Whereas now it's almost become the fan now tells you, hey, this is the vibe or sound that I want to hear. And now you are having artists that are trying to do their best to match what's being requested of them.
Yeah.
To see if they can actually garner that attention. And I think the other part of that, the other cause of that is Russ.
Like the artist Russ?
The artist Russ.
I'm intrigued.
The artist Russ.
Yeah.
And the reason that I say that is because Russ provided clarity into how the music operation works as a whole and breaking down the numbers of it.
Yeah.
I think that there were a point, especially when for us growing up, I think there were a lot of people that were jumping into trying to become artists and jumping into the music industry, not knowing how much control and how much of a business the music industry actually is. I think Russ giving his giving us a clarity of like, hey, a label will have a deal for you for $1 million, but this is how that million is going to break down. I think Russ did that in a way to not only free the artists themselves, to be like, hey, you do not have to become a slave to this machine in order for your music and your art to become widely recognized.
Right.
I think while that was a good thing for the artist, that now becomes a negative thing for the industry, because now you are now having fewer artists that are willing to accept that big money check from the industry, because they know, hey, once I give this to you, this property, my artwork now becomes your property, and I don't have a say in how I want my art to get released. And I think that has also become a fatigue, because like I said, now instead of artists putting out albums or putting out songs to be like, hey, maybe y'all might like this, or hey, how y'all liking this sample how y'all liking this single I just put out? Now it's become, oh, as an artist, let me go check the comments and tweets to see they're liking this upbeat dancing style sound. Let me go and try to copy that and see if this is something that'll appease them. And now we're seeing that more often, and we're seeing that in the sense of one hit wonder artists, or they have a one quick hot song and it falls off, or hey, my song was only hot because you can TikTok dance to it, and then it just goes away.
Yeah,
that's where that's why I think that's how I think Russ was somewhat of a cause of that. But then again, also the masses of fans, because it's just like, my best example for the fans since 2018, 2019, go pull up a video of any Travis Scott show.
It was crazy.
Any Travis Scott you can think of.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at all the fans,
You went to go see Birds.
when you look at all the fans, who do you see majorly?
The W's.
A lot of Caucasian people, and unfortunately, a lot of those Caucasian people, they may not a lot of those younger kids. Well, I'm not saying Caucasian. Yeah, they're white, but I don't know if that does play a factor into it, but it kind of doesn't. But just the fact that because they control the mass in terms of, hey, we're gonna be stream. We control your album sales and how much your project gets streamed, or how many copies you sell. Hey, we can control how much merch you're selling in a week time. Hey, we can control. Hey, we like this album so much. Hey, we're demanding that you give us a deluxe album a week after you just dropped this album.
And like
it's become such a market thing, and a lot of the fans have realized, hey, we can control this by dumping our dollars into this.
But the problem is that's just fucking up the game, because when you force people to make music that they're not passionate about, you get this recycled crap. And what's crazy is the artists that are taking their time to make art and actually do the work for their music, they don't get the push.
They don't get the push because the streams, the industry, the actual industry themselves, the producers, the executives, like, instead of becoming I think I've looked at music and it's switched from becoming a cause and effect to this is the effect that we can give you. This is how you can cause it.
Or reaction.
That's a way better word. Thank you.
Yeah. I have, first of all, everybody here has made several points.
I got two on my
especially
his, but
yeah.
Go ahead,
go ahead.
Nah, especially on the streaming part. I definitely think, yes, fans indeed do have a impact on how much people get the music out, how much artists want to put the music out, which leads me into my other point. I think there is two people who I can think of in particular. One was really good at this thing as far as streaming goes. Another one was good at it for a while, but then he fell off. So the first artist I'm speaking of is Lil Uzi Vert, because like I said, he put out Love Is Rage, and then he put out the Perfect Love tape, and then he put out Uzi versus the World, and then he put out Love Is Rage too, and it was just like snap, 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 snap. These were all very good musical projects that it was going back to back to back to back to back. And then I feel like once 2018 hit, the baby was like, okay, cool, I can do this, because then he dropped Blank Blank, and then he dropped Baby on Baby, and then he dropped Kirk, and then he dropped all that. But by the time he got to that COVID mixtape, motherfuckers was like, bro, I'm not trying to keep hearing all this shit, the streaming shit. And I feel like so many more people have tried to emulate that. Because even, prime example, when Playboy Cardi first dropped Self-Titled, it was like, cool, I could do with Self-Titled for 2 years. I don't need no new projects. And then he dropped, why am I blanking? Dial-It. It was like, oh my God, okay, this is cool. He didn't drop nothing for 2 years, 2.5 years, and people was fiending for a whole lot of red. Mind you, that shit ended up kind of sucking.
Okay,
that's a whole nother discussion.
Okay.
Well, you done already opened the door up.
I'm not gonna go crazy, but Whole Lotta Red is a masterpiece.
Talking about it.
Okay,
calling it a masterpiece.
Masterpiece is
you can say you like the album, but a masterpiece
is a reach. It's a
reach. I say we just saying anything.
But Whole Lotta Red is really good.
It's not my personal favorite.
It's not my favorite.
Hot take: Uzi versus the World was not good.
But I'm not playing that whole entire album.
Hold on. Fuck what you just said.
Hold on.
I beg your pardon?
I said what I said, and we could just.
Lil Uzi versus the World wasn't good.
That's what I said.
Damn, this might turn into
What's up?
first real.
Why do you feel that?
This might turn into the 3.
We're talking about Peace
He's accused. If you was right,
about...
come on.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the Uzi and Gucci project. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot about 1017 versus the World.
They had some bangers.
Yeah.
They had bangers.
I'm getting money.
Yeah.
My wrist.
That was only. That's the only. That's literally the only. No.
The bag.
No.
One on EA.
Only today is today is the only good song on that project.
I know.
That's the only good.
Yeah.
But anywho.
Oh, let me get my bag because y'all.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've had a couple takes.
So I know y'all bringing the fans as I kind of can't fully agree with only just the fans.
It's their fault.
It's the fans is part of the problem, but I can't sit here and say the fans is the reason why these artists are trying to over drop. Yes, the fans are also begging for music. I blame more of the label and the industry making the artists drop more versus the fans. The fans are begging because the fans are always gonna beg for music. But let's talk about the artists that want to drop but can't because their label won't let them. Or you got the fans that are asking this certain artist and this certain artist, this and this, and the artists don't even want to drop because they just don't got nothing to put out. And in terms of fatigue, I get the whole the fans want more music, so the artists are dropping more. I think that whole idea really just connects more with how accessible music has gotten over the last 10 years with streaming, SoundCloud, and everything you named was SoundCloud era. And then that's anybody can get on SoundCloud and make a track and upload it. And if it boom, it boom. But I think in terms of the fan stuff, the fans play a factor, but I don't think not as heavy as you guys are convincing or arguing that they play a huge factor into this music fatigue. Because now a lot of the fans are the same fans that are saying, I'm tired of hearing about this particular topic from this particular artist or blah, blah, blah. I would argue more, I think people want, and it's kind of what Adam said too, more substance, but they're not looking for those artists because they're either A, not getting pushed by the industry or the labels, or B, I think people are so used to their Spotify playlist or their usual
they circle
they circle music. They're not going out the way to look for music. Nowadays it's at the point you gotta dig sometimes to find great artists because unfortunately these labels are now gonna push I don't even say a lyrical miracle, but someone that got something to talk about. Because they know that may not really sell well for them. But meanwhile, a shorty or a dude can rap about any sexual content or any hood artist can rap about drilling and killing shit days in and days out. And they know people will eat that up. Fatigue or not, they know it's going to bang majority of the time. And that's even still a gamble. I mean, we can look at what Skrilla did with Duke Duke. I mean, I think the song is terrible, but you know, due to that being a meme and a dance, and then TikTok, oh, that was like label's greatest dream. You got a whole trinity going on. But now, can he even surpass that? Now that is going to be his biggest song in his career. And can he actually outdo himself with that?
And I agree with, I will say, one, I will agree with all the points that you just made. And I kind of agree. I don't feel like I was trying to, if I made it seem like the fans were a bigger percentage of the influence than what they are, then that's on me. Cause like they are, I agree with you. They are a part of that. But and that's where I think, cause I think the fans request, demand of music is what pushes your label execs or your label heads to tell my particular artist, hey, you now have to drop X amount of projects in this X amount of time, and you can't say no because, haha, it was in the fine print of your contract, Bucko. So you gotta listen to us. I think another portion of that is also like how you were saying, whether they don't know how to look for that music or the labels aren't pushing that music. I think a C option that kind of puts the both of them together is that now you're having your streaming sites like Apple Music or Spotify, they're actively not going to show you that type of music.
Yeah.
Because like you said, that everything in the music industry is a well-oiled machine. It's all about money and can you move the needle or not? That type of more, not lyrical miracle, but more of just like thought-inducing music or music that you can tell was made from somebody who still has passion to put out music for the sake of putting out their art and being like, hey, this is who I am as an artist.
And what's crazy, we're actually like the people who actually care about music and give a fuck about people actually talking about real things. We're the minority when it comes to music.
1,000%.
Because
1,000%.
the people who are really funding and putting money in those people's pockets are the ones who are putting on a playlist every day and going on a run.
Yep.
So I don't know what we could do to fix it because the fans also influence more people to become artists because, hey, all I got to do is make what everybody else making.
Yep.
I can do this off of my phone.
Yep. The blueprint is right there.
And I can make millions of dollars.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yep.
But here's the other thing that I think people tend to forget. Just because you doing something that everybody else is doing, you're not the only person with that thought either, right?
Sure, but all the rap industry is nowadays is just a stepping stool to get into the industry to be seen.
No.
Because that's all people really want. Once they're seen as an artist, they want to be able to, I can actually act, or I make podcasts, or I do this other thing, and I already have eyes on me, so let me pursue that and actually get the best chance at that. Which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but it's a bad thing for the music industry. For black people, that's a great thing. A stepping stool to get you into a higher echelon, but...
Yeah, like a 21.
Right. But the people who just do it and kill the industry and kill the artistry within, is that really a worthwhile risk? A worthwhile risk.
I knew what you wanted to say.
I know what you were saying.
But yeah, is that a worthy trade-off?
I mean, it depends because we also did a podcast back in the day. Being a rapper is also one of the most dangerous jobs in America. So is that also worth the risk too at this point?
Right.
So. I low key think the answer to is it worth the risk may lean a little towards no, because now I feel like you don't see it as much because we're not in the music business and we're not behind the scenes, so we can't see it. But now you're having artists who are willing to buy bots to now stream their music just so they can get the momentum to get notarized by an industry.
And it's all a system.
And it's all a system. And then like you said, now those people that are buying bots, it's just like you're taking half of the effort out of the work that you're trying to put in by just being like, hey, I made this song. Tell this computer, go have this computer program tell this thing to stream this one song X amount of times.
But you said something right there. Work.
Come on.
This generation
No, he old and hating.
No, because
man.
I don't necessarily hate it because they found a new avenue that we weren't able to.
Mm-hmm.
So they found a new way to make money that doesn't rely on actually putting in work to get something. But if you want that success, you will have to figure out a way to put in that work. For example, like the streamers and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like they just get on camera and dick around, but it's a whole production behind that, especially the big streamers.
So
For sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like the industry is the same way.
I would.
So hold on, let me.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, let me ask y'all a question. Let me pivot a little bit to this, but we're gonna stay on topic still. So, have y'all experienced any fatigue in y'all music that y'all like to listen to or genres?
Yes, actually, yes.
Doubt.
Go ahead, Malik.
Bro, I told you I don't listen to music no more at all for real. I listen to podcasts pretty much.
Why
No,
is
you
that?
said something.
Yeah,
You said something.
it was
car rides.
Yeah, I would say when I was living in Indiana, 2021 just was a down year for hip hop in general, to be honest with you.
21?
And then 2021 was just, in my opinion, was just a down year.
Came out in 21.
My point exactly.
Nah, it was. Go ahead.
But so I just was not listening to as much music as possible, and when I was living there, I would have to go on these very long car rides to go back and forth to work. After a while, I done listened to enough of Drip is Drown. I done listened to enough of Damage. I done listened to enough of I Am Greater Than I Was. I need to do something else different, bruh.
Yeah.
So I just started turning on podcasts, and honestly, I ain't looked back since.
Okay.
For real, because I know it's a new topic every time.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Jacob, what fatigue have you experienced in music?
Blast.
Define that.
The artist. The LA artist Blast.
Right.
I think his first two projects were probably some of his best work. Actually, Blast.
Just one.
I agree. Actually, I'm actually gonna use a different artist thing in LA. Actually, I'm gonna use Reason from TDE.
oh damn.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
Not
Reason.
TDE.
I'm gonna use him for a couple reasons going forward.
Ah.
My first one, just like the same with Blast, I think Reason's first couple projects were really just amazing work. Not only was he able to display a level of rapping ability that you could probably like his rapping ability garnered enough attention from higher ups. There's a reason why he was inducted into Top Dog Entertainment. Obviously, someone, whether it was Top Dog, Punch, Kendrick, J-Rock, Soul, whoever, they saw the rapping ability to be like, hey, he has enough bravado and charisma to be like, oh, he can hang with us. He can do this shit just like how we can do it. Maybe not to the same level, but my dog can hang.
Right.
But still providing a sense of originality, a sense of this is who I am as an artist, this is what speaks to me, and this is what I want you guys to hear from me as an artist. Whereas I think his last two projects recently, while they were good, and I have a few songs that I do like from him, I don't hear the originality. I don't necessarily hear the same hunger that he may have once had. Again, whether that's due to, because I know with him in Top Dog, there was a situation where there was a point in time where we just hadn't heard from him in a while. So it's just like you said, now it's just like a situation where maybe your label exec is telling you, hey, I don't want you to put any music out in this period of time. And again, you kind of can't say no because it's in the contract. Whether you miss it or not, that's on you, big dog. But I just think that he's kind of an example where it's just like, now don't get me wrong, he still is a great artist and a great rapper, but I just feel like I don't hear the same passion or the same hunger that I once heard in his earlier projects. And there's many other reasons. There's many other artists that I could use as this example, but I think him I wanted to point out because now when you look at it now, he's no longer a part of TDE. Whether that was due to the music side of it, the business side of it, I can't really speak to it because I just wasn't there for any of that. Yeah. But it's just like there's a reason why he's not in TDE. And now going back, like I just feel like I haven't heard too much from him as of that last. Because I think his last project that he just put out, I don't think it was a TDE project. I think this was something under. Yeah, this was under his own thing. And like I said, I wouldn't say it's an album that's gonna move the needle because it's like if y'all haven't heard it, I haven't heard it. But maybe this could be a step in the right direction where maybe now he has to take a step back and realize, hey, I don't have the same powerhouse behind me moving my music the way I want to. So now what can I do to reinvent myself, or just to refresh myself, not reinvent, refresh myself as an artist to make people want to come and flock to it again.
True. See, I want to piggyback off of what Malik did with the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Music hasn't really like shifted me to want to actually listen to it a lot more. Now, that's been actually changing for me recently because there's been a lot of good projects this year.
Agreed.
Like, for example, a project of an artist that you can tell put the work in on their album, Chance the Rapper.
100%.
Really love Star.
That was a great comeback album. And it's like, you can tell the work he put in, you can hear the growth. And that's always been like my bag when it comes to music with any artist.
Yeah.
I like an artist to talk about growth. I want them to show me what you've been doing in the industry aside from fucking bitches and getting money. Because once you get older as a person, your mind change.
Yeah.
You want to hear about things that are either, if not necessarily relating to your life, but you can understand, you can get with. But I'm cool on hearing all that other shit. So literally up until now, straight podcast for the most part. And if I'm not in the car, more podcasts, interviews.
Yeah, so there's other forms of content and entertainment for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I asked that question because sometimes I even ask myself, like, kind of picked up all y'all's comments. I like to feel updated on what's out and what's hot in music and what's going on. So I still try to go out my way. I'm not gonna say I listen to everybody because I don't. But there are moments where I guess I do ask myself, like, damn, is it me or I'm getting old? Or is it just y'all not hitting the same? Yeah, like, it's kind of suck.
It's a little bit of both. Exactly. It's a little bit of both.
Each day, like, there's moments where I'm listening to certain artists or certain new songs, and it's like, or somebody's like, oh, this is the new hot track right now, and I hear it, and I'm not moved at all by it. I'm like, I don't get what y'all like about this. It's not the worst thing I've heard, but I'm also like,
it's not
this
for
cool.
you. It's for a 16-year-old kid.
That's also true. But then there'd be some where I'm like, nah, this ain't bad. Like, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I do try to put myself in perspective of, even if I was younger, would I still like this?
Now, because you got to think, some of the shit we listen to, not to cut you off, looking back on it, that shit sucked.
I don't care what nobody say. Stoner was fucking ass.
I'm a stoner.
That song sucked when it dropped. I was like,
first hit.
I said, this shit sucked, bro.
Did it age well? No.
Hell nah.
But I don't mind the song.
That song sucks.
So does Lifestyle suck?
No.
People still love Lifestyle.
But it's just iconic because that's really, that was a great combo of artists. Because I also, R.I.P. No. I also thought R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan kind of sucked too, but he made kind of good music, I guess. Yeah, but that.
So
come on, bro. I know.
I don't want
on the top of the mountain, puff on them clouds.
So not to see.
You know that's all. Let me finish. I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's just, that was like sometimes like some of my thought process on like certain stuff. So when I do find a song or an artist that like actually makes something and it moves me, where I'm like, now this I can get with, or even if someone already been listening to, like you said earlier, like Blast or Reason's early work you liked more than their newer work, and to see if they able to come back and like bring me back in and be like, oh, okay, like, no, they still got it, or you know, and sometimes I also had to understand it could be just me at the time. Maybe I'm just not in the right mindset to hear what you was trying to put out, or like the message you was trying to push, depending on like the songs.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times I'm definitely like, I'm cool on like a lot of the newer like rap.
If
stuff.
I can understand it.
Especially, but I'm already not even big into street music, so it's rare when I do like some street or songs that's from street dudes. But a lot of the ones that do be popping, I'll be like, oh yeah, y'all got it. Like, if I hear, I will say, skating has opened my mind up to more, not only newer tracks, but older tracks. Because I used to not really care about a lot of older songs, but now I've been actually learning to appreciate them and going back. And like, bro, I was bumping like Mad Sade, bro, like at one point. Like, I feel like I was.
She got some bangers.
Man, and mind you, bro, she was cooking heat in the 80s. I'm like, bro, this sounds better than the stuff I'm hearing today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then me saying that made me sound like an old head. But and I'm not even 30 yet. But it just goes to show you how much effort and time and people put into music in certain periods. Even I'm learning to appreciate more of the early 2000 songs. And I used to shit on the early 2000 songs, and I grew up hearing a lot of stuff. But I've actually been growing to like or be like, you know what, they really did kill it with that track. Like, like Usher, T-Pain. Not saying they didn't have it, but they really had some shit. You know what I'm saying?
T-Pain is an
They was
actual
really
treasure.
outside.
They was really outside. I'm talking rollout. The songs itself, like a hit was actually a hit, or the song was fun. Now it's like, yeah, I can talk about sliding on my ops and like you can't even. That's why club culture dying too, by the way, because y'all not getting good dancing music no more. Y'all getting street hood. I want to shoot
And
kill
I think
all the time. Yeah,
I have
whatever took.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I think that
That's my fatigue. But go ahead.
I think that just lends to the idea. I think because to me, when you go back and if you're listening to older music, I think older music, especially like I'll say predates. I say predate 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I think music predate 2010. That is when people were dropping when artists were dropping music. That was still in the sense of when music is a trial and error thing. Let me try this type sound. Does it work? If it does, hey, I got a #1 hit on my hand. If it doesn't, the artist still had that ability to be like, okay, this don't work. Let's bring that back into the cooker.
Yeah.
What can I do different? And now let's try this out and see if this works. I think now 2010 and onward, I think we started to see that sense of trial and error deteriorate before our eyes.
Because it's all in front of you now.
It's all in front of you. It's all in front of you.
That's kind of like, is gatekeeping a good thing?
You know what, bro? I've been thinking about that to some degree.
That's
some of
that's a 50-50, or you can go. That's a topic in itself. That's a video in itself for another thing. It's a topic in itself.
Floodgates to everybody, or do you keep it this exclusive group of people?
I mean, you kind of see what's going on now.
Well, I would say when we talk about black fatigue, that's a prime example. Everybody don't need to come to the cookout. Damn it.
Quite. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Black people move the culture socially, fashionably.
Come on. Tell them.
Economically.
We was really losing raffles to white kids in the suburbs wearing shiesty masks. What's happening here, bruh?
They want to be like us. We the cool kids, huh?
No, they want to be like us until it's time
to be
us.
Like us.
Yeah.
It just don't read, bruh.
But
don't read.
I think we're all kind of like
come on, bro.
I think when it just comes to the sense of just musical fatigue or the music industry and how it gets we become more desensitized to it with each passing day.
I agree with the desensitized.
It just shows you with a lot of other things. It just shows you how where once something started as a passion and as a outlet for some, now it's just a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Who can produce me the most money in the shortest amount of time? And that is unfortunately where we are when it comes to the music industry as a whole. It's just, hey, how can I make the most amount of money with the least amount of time possible?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. NFL's
and unfortunately that concept is getting indoctrinated not only just across the board. Music, sports.
That's what I was saying, bro.
Shit, even day to day work life. That
what
shit's
can
just
you do for me right now, bro.
Yeah.
That is what life is a business of. And trust me, I know I got job fatigue. You know how many jobs I done worked? I done worked at the casino.
Come on, man.
I done worked at 3CDC.
Come on, man.
I done worked for PR firms. I work right now at a Fortune 500 company. I done worked at restaurants. Bro, I'm tired because everything is even if you're doing everything right, you still might not have that security, bro.
Yeah.
And that gets worrisome after a while, bro. But I guess that's just all part of being an adult.
Yeah, because before I used to say I worked in law enforcement. I was a parole officer. That is probably one of the most hiring jobs I've ever worked. Not because it was difficult, because all I did was drive around all day, check on people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the fact of there's so much extra pressure put on you working in a field like that. Mm-hmm. Because not only do I have to make sure I do all this paperwork and stuff right, I'm a front-facing person to society. So all they see is a badge and a vest and a gun, and they already have a perception of you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with the way the government's set up, sometimes things don't really fall in the way that our people would like it to go.
Exactly.
But I have to still uphold those rules and things of that nature. And that's very tiring, especially being around people where you working and you're not even comfortable to have a conversation with the person next to you because they might tell on you.
Man.
Crazy.
So,
Man.
like, it's just parts like that that make the job overly exhausting. Like right now, I'm into armed security now, so that's much better for me. I don't have to deal with the people at the volume I have to. I had to at that point, so that's probably the most fatiguing job I've ever worked.
And it's crazy because when you think about just like work, like the fatigue of work, whether it's corporate or not, I think a lot of this really got brought to the forefront once COVID hit. Because once COVID hit, and especially for me, because I probably like I think it's from 2018 onward, pretty much all of my jobs have been corporate or corporate adjacent in some fashion or form. And it's just like once 2020 happened and these big ass corporations were forced to shut down, it's just like, okay, now people are seeing how they choose to respond in faces of adversity. And it's just like, a lot of these corporations could give one less fuck about y'all. To them, y'all are just a cog we're just a cog in the machine, and I could get dropped at a moment's notice, literally, regardless of what I may have going on in my life, whether what my family may be going through, whether I'm in a good position or not. They're just like, hey, big dog, you're not doing anything for us, so we got to let you go. And that's happened to me with Procter when I worked at Procter and Gamble. I had been there since
I forgot you was working
for
a minute.
I was there. I was 2 or 3 years in, and it's just like, hey, I have a skill set that not anyone in this department can say that they have. I control the entire workflow. I have everything in a well-oiled machine, and I'm getting dealt with new hires coming in that are making almost $10 more than what I'm making.
That's insane.
And now, but yet I get looked at with the screw face when I go back to my manager and be like, hey, I don't even need the full $10. Can I at least get 5 more on top of what I'm making? And now y'all looking at me like I done cussed y'all and y'all family out.
Crazy.
Like I'm crazy. And it's just like, and I think that's why from 2020 onward, you see people being faced with this realization. So now they're kind of like, well, shit, what am I to do? And a lot of people decided, hey, I'm going to go into business for myself. And people are actively continuing finding ways to make their money for themselves, whether they have a food truck that they own. I've seen people that have like services like therapy, massage therapists. I've seen people go and create different items for people that sells other people. Like I know one person who she makes candles and body butters and different things like that.
Yeah.
It's just like people have to find ways to support not only themselves, they have families, might have kids. Like you just never know what somebody's going. So it's like that's kind of crazy to see that in real time. Cause
I call like shit like that like breaking the matrix, because you know how they say. Have you all seen the Matrix? First question.
Yes.
I have not.
Oh my God!
Okay.
You're so full of shit.
I have to give him credit because I only saw the Matrix for the first time like 2 or 3 years ago. So I don't know.
Basically, everybody.
I told you know this, bro.
The world is a simulation, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like the world kind of forces you to go in this route of, okay, you're going to go to school, you're going to work this. Yes. Going to work at this office desk job. You're going to make just enough money to live on with your family. You're going to get a house, and that's how you go. Or you can break out of that matrix and figure out another path to being successful.
To kind of pick up where Adam was talking about, where to put that into perspective, for us growing up, the simulation was, hey, you have to go to school. Once you finish high school, you go to college. Finish college. Once you finish college and you get your degree, hey, you can get a successful job and be successful and make loads of money. But now we facing going into the simulation, we realize, hey, just because we have a college degree doesn't necessarily mean I'm being put up for lifelong success.
And we're the first generation to actually say, "Fuck y'all old system. We
Yeah.
go our own way."
And that in our generation saying fuck y'all system, we are basically at that point just breaking out of the Matrix reference. And now it's just like, okay, now that we're out of the simulation, now I have to start looking at myself and being like, okay, well, with the skill set that I have, what can I do to provide a lasting effect on society while also making sure that I'm making money to take care of not only myself, but my loved ones and my family on the back end as well.
Right.
So it's kind of just like,
But even then, though, and speaking of talking about oversaturation, I feel like once COVID hit, everybody was like, I'm going to be a business owner. Statistically speaking,
Everybody starts on the.
of course,
it is.
statistically speaking, I just caught what you said. 99% of businesses fail. Let's start there. Okay? I'm part of that 99. I'm not going to hold you up. But people always think, oh, just because I'm going to start a business, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And then the point of having a business is to be successful and to sell that business so you can just continue to recoup the money off of it. You don't have to do anything because you put the work in. But what people also fail to realize is sometimes if you're going to expand or grow as a business, you need to hire employees. How you going to hire employees if everybody a business owner? Now, all of a sudden, you stuck in a different cycle, and then you got to quit and get a job anyway. So also people got to start thinking about the markets and shit that they're doing too. Everybody don't need to sell lashes, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody don't need to be selling plates out their crib. Everybody don't need to be doing whatever other PPP loan activities that they do. Like, it gets to a point, bro. You have to find a niche. If you want to have a successful business, you have to find a niche.
I agree with you, and I support that. I think just to kind of not to kind of counter it a bit is just kind of like how we said with the music industry at the beginning of the video. Not everybody might have the ability to find that niche or find that that their lane. Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes depending on the results of their environment or their circumstances, it might be the move for them to sell lashes or for them to sell plates because it's just within their means. Because I think when it comes to a lot of people having these businesses, a lot of the time they don't think within their means. They just think of, oh, how can this brand or this product be the biggest it can ever be and reach the widest audience that it can? Not, like you said, not considering, oh, if I do want to do this, I may have to invest in employees. I may have to invest in certain equipment. Depending on the job that they want to do, okay, I have to have these licenses or these certifications to even operate my business.
That's another thing.
I think those are just the many things that, unless you are somebody that has been in school or like are actually dedicated to wanting to develop a business, these are the things that people are just not going to study or look into. They're just going to be like, oh, here's a business. Let's see how it goes.
Without like falling all the way back into the fuck the streets movement conversation, the whole concept of fixing the streets could be something as simple as getting education to those who don't know that.
Exactly.
So like maybe a rec center in the hood can have a business class.
Mm-hmm.
Actually put forth some of that fix the streets money into hiring people to go into those communities and actually uplift.
But so the other thing is, as somebody who also has worked in like community activism and stuff like that, people got to be willing to show up to that shit too. Because you can't, just like, you know, there used to be already, you should start all these programs, people would show up. Now they like, oh, we got to cut the budget. Why am I cutting the budget? I told everybody I did what y'all need to do. Well, people not showing up to the events. So now it's like, so that needs to be advertised. You can't just pop up and randomly, you know what I mean? You got to spread the word.
It's funny because, and I didn't mean to cut you off. No, it's funny because Malik, what you're saying, and Adam, what you're saying, you guys, to at least in my opinion, you guys are arguing the concept of yin and yang, where you can't have one without the other. Yeah. And I say that in the sense of you can't have these type of programs like outreach center or something like that. You can't have that without people showing up. But how can people show up if they aren't educated as to what the benefits of this center could do for their community? Because that's the biggest thing. It's just like a lot of the times, especially within the Black community, our biggest hurdle and obstacle is just the general lack of information.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are people that are trying to raise awareness to it, but not many people are just seeing the cry of, hey, if we get more education for this, and this can benefit us in this, and this. Yeah, people are out here like spreading those messages, but it's not being picked up by the right ears or eyes to be now, oh, some person said this, and this. Well, let me now share that to my platform so that they can see, oh, there are people here that want to do this, but it's just like, if we're so far and few in between, and it's just like, we can only do so much.
Share about it, shoot them up, bang them up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Somebody's making
Allegedly.
song like, hey, how to
Cause and effect.
actually save money or learn about financial literacy.
Yes.
I would say, because I do know, I'm like,
Stuff they should have taught in school.
yeah, I'm like
Boy.
85% sure though that 21 Savage does have a literacy class in East Atlanta for kids to go and like learn how money and business works.
And that's
I'm
good.
like,
That's good.
85%
Yeah,
sure he does.
that's good. And that's good if he does. That's good if he does.
But
So
It's only so much one person can do.
nah,
That
that's also a fact
that
too.
really,
that is the biggest part. Well, this has been a great conversation.
it has.
I want to continue the conversation in the comments. So if you guys would like to comment and let us know what you guys think about the tea, whether it's in music, jobs, whatever it is that you just tired of or you see the conversation about, please comment
Yep.
and let us know your thoughts on what was discussed today. We appreciate y'all tuning in on this episode of The Four. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until then, we will catch y'all next time.
And remember, protect your peace.
Protect your
Yes. Also, keep the mid off the streets. Keep the mid off the street.
Rid the mid.
duty.
Rid the mid.
Rid the
Rid the mid. Rid the mid.